welcome back to a new video. Today we will be discussing Joe Biden officially dropping out of the presidential race. He's still president though, so yeah, let's just get into it. So, you might have heard the news already, but Joe has dropped out of the race. I mean, it was seen a mile away. Everyone was calling for his dropping out, and mainly what really put it over the edge is he got sick. They took advantage of the opportunity and then just kicked him out. He really pissed off the main players that he really needed to maintain control over the nomination. He pissed off the Obamas because, I mean, the Obamas already hated him, so, I mean, there wasn't really much to keep them around. And as soon as they smelt blood in the water, they just immediately kicked him out. Nancy Pelosi was also a key player that they needed to keep, and that didn't work out too well because Nancy Pelosi started calling for him to get out as soon as humanly possible. And then a lot of other key Democrats that you really needed support in order to actually get the nomination. But, anyways, Biden is out. He isn't going to be the nominee. He's not running for president. He's still in the White House, though. So, I mean, we still got his policies. They're not letting up on his policies, I guess. And now we got to deal with Kamala Harris likely being the nominee, which, I mean, she's going to be the nominee. It's not really a contest. Other people are going to make their play. Bernie Sanders will probably make a play. Joe Manchin is looking like he's going to make a play. Maureen Williamson, maybe even Dean Phillips, but they're not going to win because Kamala Harris, she has the backing of the deep state. She has the backing of all the major Democrats that she needs to get the nomination. And Obama, Pelosi, she's endorsing her, and even Joe Biden. Biden endorsed Kamala Harris, which that might be a drag on her chances of getting the nomination, but this is the Democrat Party. They really don't care. I mean, these are the people who rigged the primary against Bernie twice, so they don't really give a shit about what the primary voters have to say. That's why they got rid of Joe. And Joe, he was performing the polls pretty badly, and that's the main reason they took him out. They didn't take him out because he's mentally incompetent or he can't spell a sentence. They took him out because he's likely to lose. And really, all the chances that they had, this was probably the worst time to do it. We are very close to the presidential election. Trump has already been nominated. The DNC is a couple weeks away, and really, it's going to be a major battle for Kamala because Kamala, not very likable, and she's still tied to the Biden White House and got endorsed by Biden, so you can't really shave off your reputation with Joe Biden. Whoever she picks as VP, even if they're popular, if they are tied to Kamala and Biden, they are going to see a massive popularity downfall. If she picks like Tim Walz or Gretchen Whitmer or Josh Shapiro, they are fairly well liked in their state. As soon as they join onto the ticket, popularity is going down. All the benefit that they're going to attempt to bring, it's not going to be too much. And the original benefit that they were supposed to bring and the original benefit that they would bring just running by themselves without Joe or Kamala, that would either be diminished or completely destroyed. So, really, I see a Kamala Gretchen Whitmer ticket. Don't tell me that they're not going to try and do an all women ticket. They might pick Josh Shapiro, but that's pretty much it. It's either going to be Kamala Whitmer or Kamala Shapiro. And that is going to be the ticket because you got Kamala Harris. She's tied to the Biden White House, relatively well known because she's the vice president. And Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, that's what she's going to pick him for to win Pennsylvania. Does he have enough support that he can potentially flip the state for her? Well, considering how good Trump is doing there, I don't know. We'll have to see when he's on the ticket, but really making up that ground that Trump currently has on Kamala and Joe, that's going to be pretty hard. And I don't think a VP pick is really going to add to the ticket. VP picks never really add to the ticket all that often. Mike Pence might be the best VP pick in terms of the ticket because he sort of secured evangelicals, which were just kind of a little iffy, but outside of that, they really don't add anything. One thing that they can do, however, and this is very common, they can completely sink the ticket. And If Kamala Harris picks someone that absolutely sucks ass, then you're going to get a very, very bad ticket with a bad presidential nominee and a bad vice presidential nominee. And you're going up against Trump and JD Vance. And especially on the debate stage, you do not want to meet that competition. I don't know why Kamala Harris is challenging Trump to debates. I guess she really wants to make an ass out of herself. Why is she challenging him to 3 debates? That is just the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Kamala Harris is not a good debater. She is a good manipulator, but she's not a good debater. But her manipulation kind of ends when people realize, oh, Kamala is very fucking annoying and I don't like her at all. The problem with Kamala, she doesn't really have any core values or policies. She just goes off of whatever gets her to the top. And that's going to be hard on the debate stage because, as we saw in 2020, not very good at debating. And she can't really run on any platform outside of, I'm a diverse woman. Look at me, I'm so goddamn diverse. And she's going to run on that. Is that really an issue that's swaying anyone? No. This idea that picking a black woman is somehow going to win you the women vote and the black vote just based on the fact that it's a black woman, that's not really how voting works. I mean, they're trying to go with the Barack Obama logic, which is, oh, if I'm black, I can just completely dominate the black vote, which Barack Obama, he was very charismatic. That's why he won so many votes across all races. And trying to replicate that strategy, Kamala Harris is not at all charismatic. She has somehow discovered the art of negative charisma. She has negative charisma. She is the most uncharismatic person I have ever seen before. Her goddamn cackle sounds like a goddamn witch cackling while brewing her little stew. Any hard question is just met with a weird little cackle that, and her VP choices, I mean, Rich and Whitmer, not really going to add much. I mean, potentially maybe a point in the polling in Michigan, but Trump is leading by a pretty significant amount, so that wouldn't really add thing. Josh Shapiro not going to really add anything. He might do the same thing, but for Pennsylvania. But again, Trump holds a pretty solid lead there, so it's still going to be in the relatively same category. It's still going to be a toss-up state and more of a tilt red than tilt blue. It might go a little tilt blue because of Josh Shapiro on the ticket, but we'll just have to see when they actually get nominated. And then every other VP option is somehow worse. So we got Gavin Newsom. He sucks. Nobody likes him. And really, he only is governor because he's in California. If he ran in even like a purple state or a moderately blue state, he would lose. Gavin Newsom is not very likable. He's like the male Kamala Harris. Funny that they're both from California. They must just have shit politicians, which they do indeed. And Gavin Newsom doesn't really add anything to the ticket. I mean, you don't really need to shore up California. It's California. This would be different if it was like New York, which that might be a potential battleground in the future, and you might want to shore up the embarrassment of it being relatively close. So that would make some sense, but no one is really considering the governor of New York or any congressman or senator from New York to be on the ticket. You got pretty much nothing. Nothing after that. Bernie Sanders, no, I don't think he wants to be a VP for Kamala at all. He would run as a president in 2028. Outside of that, you don't really have anything. You're really picking straws at this rate, and it's not really a good bench that they have, which is why I think they're going to go through the bench from past years and they're just going to start digging through all their presidential nominees and they're like, fuck it, Al Gore, fuck it, John Kerry. And that's also not going to work. Al Gore running in 2024, it would be funny, but I don't think people would actually seriously vote for him. John Kerry, I mean, he's definitely a lot more recognizable today because he's worked in the Biden administration, but also he's worked in the Biden administration. And really, has he done much? And also, he's not really that interesting of a guy. That's why he lost in 2004. He's not very interesting. He's like a more boring version of Bill Clinton. And then what else do you have? You're really going through the entire stash, which is not very big, and you're getting a lot of shit. So, who is going to replace Biden? We don't know. It's probably going to be Kamala, but there's a lot of wacky things that can go on. But, anyways, I'll see you guys later.